Hello, welcome to a how-to video on using Canva and building a business card. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build a business card from scratch using Canva. In addition to that, we're going to use a QR code generator to add a QR code that will allow whoever uses the business card to scan and have a vCard entry into their phone. Now, using Canva, there's a few tips ahead of time to get started. One thing you may need to do is set up an account. If you have not already done so, just know that it is free. Everything we will be doing today will be through the free plan. So just keep that in mind, set that up before you get started today. Once you get started, meet me on Canva's homepage. So there's a few options we can do when building a business card. One is we can already go to templates that exist and we can add a logo if we wanted to create something and have Canva help us with that. Or we can just use maybe some examples we like here if we want to take a few ideas, maybe from the paid, and you can make your own options there as well. Or if you just want to start from scratch because you really want a basic, simple card and you just already know what you already have your colors, you already have your logo, you already have your name and information, and you don't need any extra steps, you can do that. Or if you just like to play around and discover how to make something, then this is the video for you. But if you just want an easy template, those options do exist and you can go that route as well, and for free. All right, so we're going to go ahead and click create blank. And when I'm in my create blank, I have my settings open to see my lines and my area where the business card will go. So I have my business card untitled here. So I'm going to write practice business card on the top. And then I'm going to go to file. When I'm in file, I'm going to go to my view settings. And here you can see where I have show rulers and guides and show margins. And I like adding these pieces at the beginning just because it helps me know where I need to center things and where I want to have pieces go. All right. So now what I'm going to do next is just add some information. So I can go with text, I could go with elements, however I want to go first. Let's go with elements first today. And let's look at some shapes. So we're looking at the shapes here. I'm going to go ahead and click see all. These are all free options. And I'm going to go ahead and click a shape for us to play with. So looking at our first shape here, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the top corner of my card outline. So this card setting is our typical size. So we have a 3.5 inch by 2 inch setting here, and that's what's within this parameter or this border. So I'm gonna go ahead and expand this so it takes up that whole area, and I can make this clear. So I can clear that out and then add an outline to it. I can use a color that I like if I want. If I have a brand color and I have a set brand colors, if you pay for that option, you can do that. If you want to add different colors or go with basic colors, you can go here. There's also gradient options. But if you wanted to go with add a new color and you already knew your color scheme, you could go ahead and type that in. Now I'm going to go ahead and type in the number of the color I want to use today. Go ahead, press enter, and that color is now there. I have it as my border. I can also make my border lighter. So this is a border weight of 4. I'm going to go ahead and change this to a border weight of 2. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and start adding my text. And again, you can use the default text settings here. If you have a text font you already want to use, you can do that as well. We have some options here if you want to go with a little more fun fonts. You can definitely do that. We can use any of these options here. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up and use our option on this side right here, the today will be a good day. And that's from one of these font combinations down here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to adjust this so it'll fit within my border. Okay. So now that I have my font set, I'm going to go ahead and use my drop down font box here. It's going to tell me exactly what font I have. So if I wanted to change this, I could pick a different font if I want that there. Here's some fonts I used recently. If you find a font you like, I highly suggest you write it down. And then that way you can search it in the search box up here and just use fonts you find useful, you like, you want to continue using. And then when you have those, you can see your recently used. So if I did that, here you can see the font changes to now this current one. So I'm going to go ahead and Control Z that though, because I want to keep the original. So it looks like it's AR. I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but we have a couple options here. So I'm going to go ahead and change the color next. I'm going my text color. I'm going to use that dark red, that maroon color. And I'm going to change both of them so they stand out a little bit. I'm going to change this to bold. Oh, it's not giving me that option. That's okay. So I can do a few things here if I wanted to. I can increase the font size. I can also do some effects here. So if I want to make this kind of lift up a little, and this one I want to do maybe a shadow, I can do that. So now they're standing up. Actually, I'm going to make that effect. I'm going to go back. I'm going to do lift as well so they match a little bit better. So here, what I want here is I can put this as my product. I can put this as my name. However I want to, however I want to share my information, this is how I can share it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my name here. And then I'm going to I'm going to go ahead and change this to how-to videos. All right. So now I have my name, what my mission, or however you want to look at that. And I'm going to add some more information. So I'm going to go back to my text, and I'm going to just want to do a plain text box. So I can add a heading, subheading, however I want to look at this. Add my brand fonts. We talked about that earlier. If you want to type in ones, you're paying that extra, you can add that brand kit where you have matching colors, you got matching fonts. That way you're being consistent. But I'm just going to add a text box here. All I do is click this blue button over here and it made a text box for me over here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this and put it in my frame that I've created. And this is where I'm going to add my number. Let's see, we're going to add 555. All right, and this is where I could also add my email. All right, and if I had any other information like a website, that's where I could add this here. Now, another option you could do is you can make these separate boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and then I'm going to leave the number as its own box. And what I want to do here is I want to change this font to the same as this one. And I want to use it easily. So I'm just going to do copy style. So that way I don't have to remember it or write it. I can kind of cheat this way. So I'm going to go ahead and copy style, and then I'm going to add it right here. All right, so now I have my name, I have what I'm doing, I have my phone number for my card. I'm going to go back to text. Instead of adding a new text box, what I'm going to do this time is duplicate. So I have the same font, I have the same size, I have everything, and this is where I'm going to type in my email. So I can do this two ways. I can just double click like I just started to start typing, or I had already cut this so I could paste as a plain text and it'll add that information for me. And now it's doing that lift feature I had put on the font earlier. So I'm going to take that off because I don't want that effect on these things. So the lift feature, I'm just going to put none here, and same thing on my phone number. I'm going to go ahead and do the style as none. So there's no font style. I have the font style on Cleric of Yoda. Effects, I have the lift option there. All right, so now I have my title, I have my phone number, then kind of make those a little bit closer together. And then this is where I can have some more fun. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my elements. I'm going to go out of here and I'm going to go to shapes. And I had already recently used a couple of these shapes. We were just in shapes, but I'm going to go back to something that I used recently. And it was this arrow. Let's see. Oh, I like this one better. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. I'm going to add this shape right here. I'm going to change the color to that maroon color. And now I have a little divider. So I'm just adding to it, making it look a little more special. And now I want to add an image down here. So I'm going to go to my uploads. I'm going to go ahead and add my logo here. And what I want to do with this is I want to do a little transparency because I don't want it to be too noticeable, I guess is the term I'm trying to look for there. I don't want it to dominate anything or be too noticeable. What I would like to do is have this as a different, have it as blend in color, like have this as a white background. I could do that a few ways. I have my logo through Canva, so I could go back to my logo here and I could do a white background. I could make those changes on other places as well. I can do the transparent, but there's no real option here unless I have the extra money. Then I could do like the magic eraser and it does the editing of taking the background away. But what I could do is I could play around with the filters and it might give me some options that make it blend in a little bit more, or I could do a pop of color to make it stand out even further. So these are options I could do using the free stuff that is available to me. So let's go ahead and make the transparency disappear. And let's go and have some fun with some of these. So let's try this vintage fade. And now you see how it's blocking out my border. So if I wanted to leave it at this level, if I want to shrink it a little, and I'm also using these lines to help me guide where the center is, if you can see those pop up. But let's go back to the problem I addressed originally, and that was this border was getting blocked out. So what I'm going to do is click on these three dots where it says more, and I'm going to go layer. I want to send this all the way back. So now that I sent it back, the border has the forefront and it pushes my image towards the back. So that way the layering can happen and that border can be in front of the image. So let's go back to our image. So now it's harder to edit though. Once you do that, I would have to then change this back. So let's go ahead and do that so I can show you how that works. So I'm going to highlight this. Now it's my border that's being highlighted. I'm going to click more. I'm going to go layer and I'm going to send this one to the back. And that brings my original picture here back to the front so I can do some more editing. So let's go back to edit photo. And let's see, I didn't really like those colors. That's where I was going with that one. Let's see if it allows me to do anything fun here. I can add blur to the background, whole image. I don't know what that does really. Probably not much. So I'm just going to look at this. I have face retouch. We have these effects here that really don't help with what I'm trying to do. It doesn't really do anything. Let's see, we could do blur intensity. I don't think that's gonna really affect us much. I'm gonna go back to more, and I'm just gonna go ahead and a layer and then send it to the back. And that's okay. It's not perfect. We could play around with this a lot more and get this color to match the background color, or I could even do the inside color to match that color. There's a few options there. I'm not going to lose any sleep over this and just leave it as is at the moment. And just know when you are adding any images, that is something that you might run into. Another thing we could do is we could just use images from our Canva that are free. So if you watched any other videos about Canva, you may have known that we can go and look for images here. Let's see if I wanted to look up how to, and I'm just going to type that in, and then it gives me graphics, it gives me photos, videos, and audio. So I want to do graphics. And anything with a crown is pro, that costs money. So if you want a free option, you need to find one without one of those crowns. All right, so we have how to order. I'm going to push this layer to the back again. I'm going to get rid of my logo here because it doesn't match. I don't like it. And I'm going to add how to order because that is free. Let's see if we can find something better. I'm going to go to my filters here because I want something static, not animated. And then I'm clicking the filter button again so it clears out. And I'm looking for something without a money. So I have this one that doesn't have one. Let's see if we can pull that up there. That's fun. That might work. It doesn't really go with our theme, but it's just a cute little photo for now that we can play with. All right, let's keep looking. Maybe you need a little Zen moment if you're trying to create something new and it's very frustrating. So I could also add create, the word create, see if anything pops up with that. All right, we have a plus sign. We have a nice little writing emoji and a light bulb. Let's go ahead and see what our light bulb looks like here. Now, another option I have with this light bulb is if I click color, it allows me to play around with the color of it. So I can color in my light bulb there. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of this. And let's see, I like how that looks. I don't hate this image, but it really doesn't go with what we're trying to do here today. So I'm going to go ahead, layer this, send this backwards. And that, when you send it backwards opposed to backward just sends it back one layer back, all the way back, sends it as the furthest back picture. So there we go. Let's look at that. That looks okay. Let's see. I'm going to actually click on this one more time. Bring this to the front. And, oh, I'm going to bring that to the back. Send it back. I'm going to look at my image here. I'm going to shrink it just a little bit. It was a little too big. All right. Now we're going to send this layer to back. Okay. There we go. So now we have our how-to videos, we have our number. So let's do our QR code over here. So this is our basic information. We have a frame here. We don't have anything here. I'm going to show you how we can play around with this once we've created something. All right, so now we're switching gears. We're going from Canva to QR code generator. So QR code generator, you just type that into Google. This is something else you will need to sign into. You can use your throwaway email account. This is also free. So what we're going to do is a vCard Plus. And I put this as personal. I did not put this for business or anything. I just put this for personal, just because we were playing around with it and I'm not using this for anything serious. And so that's the reason I use personal. You can go whatever route you would like to do, but it gives you all these options in the personal, just so you know. And the QR code, this is what they would do. So what we want is the vCard Plus, because this is going to add contact information to somebody's phone. So if they scan this QR code, that information we have on our business card will go into their phone. So if they lose the business card, they still have our information. Let's go ahead and click on this, and you can see an option. You can see how this may look in someone's phone, and some things you can add to it. So we have the picture, we have their title, we have their call, email, and directions. Directions would be if you add an address, and I'll show you how you could take that option away as well. And you could give a little blurb and some information. So let's go ahead and click next. So we got our vCard Plus checked. We're going to go next on the button, the big green button at the bottom. And we have some colors here that we could go with. We have some standards here, but we can also type in the colors we've been using. So we have our dark green, which was 0C635E. And then I had that maroon color, and I'm going to put that number in again, and that was 630C14. I can also use a gradient color, so you can see how that goes there. That's pretty, and then you can add that, but we'll just do these two for now. Your information. So this is the information we want to add here. So if for this image, I'm going to go ahead and upload a picture. And I want to go to images for videos, and I'm going to go ahead and open that. And it gives us an option here. We can expand. You can't expand too far, so take that information as you will. So it gives us. Let's go ahead and cancel that, because that image didn't work. So you can see how that works as well. So let's go ahead and do a screenshot we have here, or we could do our logo here. Let's go ahead and do our logo. That's going to be nice and easy. So we have our logo, a nice little shot of it. Let's go ahead and confirm. And then we're going to add our information. So to add our information, I'm going to go ahead and type that in. I'm typing in my name. All right, and my number. And then we're going to type in our email address, our company information if we wanted to, and then a quick summary or our website. And we can say, here to help demonstrate how to use Canva to enhance your brand. All right, so this is information. All we have is the call, because all we did was enter our number. So by entering your address or entering other things, you would automatically trigger that directions or that email option. By leaving those blank, they're automatically left off. But if you do add your address, there is an option to leave the directions button off. So, and then we have a welcoming screen if you wanted to add an image to that while it's loading. Not quite sure how that would work exactly, but let's go ahead and do that. Confirm. We change, so preview what that would look like. So as our stuff's loading, that's just the video they'll see. And this is feedback for this service here. And you can add a share button if you wanted to as well. Let's go ahead and click next so we can see our QR codes. All right, so here we have different frames. We have different ways our QR code could look. We have lots of options with frames. So this is how it's going to stand out. So let's look at all frames. So we have frame text that says scam me, but you can write whatever you want there. You could change the color if you wanted to. So let's go ahead and change our color. And we're going to change it to that maroon color, because that is what we have our border looking like and everything. So we're going to have everything match. But here are some options. So we can have our different frames look a little different, just so they stand out. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. So you would download in your folder, however you'd like to download. There's also some really cute options down here with the coffee. I love that one. Just a lot of fun. All right, so I'm going to go back to my business card here. I'm going to go back to my uploads on the far left, and I'm going to go ahead and upload a file. So I'm going to go to my downloads because that's where it went. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and now it is being uploaded into my area, so I can go ahead and add this. So now I have the scan me on the other half. I have my information over here. So this is my simple business card. It's ready to go. I can download this from Canva and I could be all set to use this, to print it out. Now, while I'm downloading, I'm going to show you what Canva offers. If you want to get this printed by Canva, you can. So this is an option that is allowed by Canva if you just want to pay for them to do it, or if you want to do it at your own house, you download and print as you would with the information from your printer. So that is how you would create a business card using Canva and adding a QR code. All right, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you found this helpful, please write a comment below. If you would like to know how to also build a business card in Adobe Fresco, please let me know and I'll be happy to share a video with that. That one's a lot more intricate and has a little extra details, but it's fun if you want to make it more your own. All right, thank you for watching once again. Have a great day. Bye.